Hi guys, a little bit some information, or you could say at least my opinions about terms like aggression and prey drive when we are talking about dog training, especially now sport dogs, protection dogs, IGP dogs, monitoring, othering sports, like whatever. But anyway, the thing is that we have a little bit like quite a lot of differences in understanding what, for example, aggression means or what prey drive means. And it seems to me that each and every time for example, dog is barking, we are thinking that this is aggression. And when the dog is like trying to catch something, which is like, for example, some type of house leaf or whatever, that's called prey drive. Well, first of all, we need to talk about what aggression is. Basically, you could say this, that, well, I'm quite aware of this, that that dog is not wolf anymore, but still, genetically, it's like a 99% still like wolf. Compared to wolf, dog is kind of a puppy level. Even if it's a adult German Shepherd, still it's like a puppy level compared to wolf. And the difference between wolf and dog is this, that dog is nowadays not anymore able to survive in nature without humans. So therefore we can't compare like a completely wolf and dog, but still like wolf, dog is still a pack animal. And when we have a pack animal, which is a predator, to be able to survive, they are actually hunting down far more larger animals, which can be dangerous for them. So it's not so like dog trainers are being told that when they are predators, it means that this hunting is a safe place. Nothing bad happens there. But when you watch what actually happens in real world, the wolf pack, when they are hunting, it's like, of course, that it would be like, for them it would be better and more safe to hunt down those like injured deers or something like this. But sometimes they need to try to catch something which is really, really dangerous for them. That can be some type of for example, moose, male moose, or bear, for example, and they need to actually, the hunting, the system, the mechanism includes this, that they need to make the prey tired. Why to do this? That the prey is not so big threat anymore, so it's not so dangerous. So that is one reason why kind of this theory of thinking about which one is stronger, like a predator is always stronger and just kills and eats and that's it. It collapses, this theory. If you compare this behavior with cats, which are watching through the glass window glass, they are watching bird. The state of mind is completely different. But and there you can see that it's like you can't touch this area. You can't you can't talk to the cat. The cat wouldn't listen because it sees the bird, and it's like it's so excited. That's drive. But if we compare cat to wolf or dog, cat is a lonely hunter. It's not a pack. It's not like a kind of a pack. It's not a pack animal. So that's like you can see the difference, that it's hunting down animals which can't resist. They can try to escape, but they can't be a threat. So the behavior is completely different. So when it's pack animal, they need to be able to defend themselves at the same moment. So when they are like trying to hunt. So that means that actually pack animal, when they are hunting, they need to be able to create aggression to be able to do this. Otherwise, killing this process is not possible. So it's not exactly how it's been told to people that it's like just a safe area. And why I'm talking about this is because many dogs which are reacting on helper's motion, helper is giving this like a prey stimulation, and if people are not like really focused on reading the state of mind, the emotion, it can be that the dog is still unsure, reactive, instead of creating like a confident like hunting mode where the dog sees the prey. The other thing is this, that prey drive, if we're talking about prey drive, in nature is connected with surviving mechanism. This means that it's connected with having the meal, like you need to have a food. So food in nature has this like I call it like an internal reason, internal motivation source to have food to stay alive. And in wilds this has a meaning. Like for example, well, if you remember the plane accident, like when this in Andes 1972, this Uruguay's this rugby team crashed, and 16 men stayed alive, and there is this movie Alive. And those men, to survive, they started to eat their friends and relatives. When like liquor and chocolate, it ran out of alcohol and chocolate, they started to eat people to be able to stay alive. So that was the first time these men like understood literally the meaning of food. And we here, we don't have this. We know we know it because someone told us that we need to have food for living, so we know this, but we don't have this experience, nor our dogs. So food when we're talking about pet dogs or sport dogs, those dogs which are living with us, food is something like it's like obvious. You give food like a happy dog meal for them like twice per day for free, so there is no need to hunt anything. So this actually the energy what we're using for like teaching those dogs to enjoy fighting, it comes from the same behavior. It starts from drive, yeah, that's for sure, but it's more like how to learn. It's more like learning how to kill. That's the behavior. They learn how to kill. Like puppies are playing together, so that one is above another, and so on. And they like two things are being stimulated at the same time. One is how to learn how to kill, like to learn how to kill the prey, and the other is a little bit like check your position in this hierarchy, which is really needed. And hierarchy is something that all species have, this hierarchy, and it's like about it's about evolution. Who will continue the species? It means that who gets the best males and best females, and so on. So prey drive actually in nature is more connected with aggression. And like I told that the predator still needs to be able to avoid. So we are calling this so-called 4F rule: fight, fly, freeze, flirt. Well, shortly, fight means that there's a threat, and this animal or human being wants the threat to go away. So they're warning and trying to look like a stronger at some it can be just warning behavior, warning the pack or something like this, but it means also that they want the threat to go away, or they can attack the threat. So that's fight. Then fly is avoidance behavior. This can be like an active or passive avoidance behavior. That means that active avoidance is kind of a behavior where you try to run away, that the threat is so big that you want to run away. And passive is kind of the situation that you just like make yourself show that you're weaker. You calm yourself and try to show that you're weaker. You are not going to resist anymore. That's it. That's kind of a passive behavior. Freeze is we don't see this. We shouldn't see this at all, because that is the situation where the nervous system is like stimulated that strongly that it's kind of well, you can see this when there is a prey and a predator, and this predator is like holding the prey in its mouth, and there is no way to escape anymore. Say they go to this freeze mode, so they don't feel pain anymore. So like with humans, anyone who survives of this this situation, they will always be like a really strong mental scar. So it's not like anymore like you will not be the same anymore, like, that's for sure. So freeze mode is really strong situation. We shouldn't see this happening ever when we are talking about dog training. Then flirt or fawn is kind of a situation where this animal or human is kind of trying to send messages to this threat that don't be a threat, I'm not threat again. Like it's like smelling the ground when there is nothing interesting in this place. So it's kind of like humans are watching, like, what time is it, and reading newspaper upside down, for example. So like can't really focus on text, but trying to just send messages, smiling when there is nothing, no reason to smile about. Like trying to calm ourselves down, because when we are smiling, our brains are like spreading, I don't know, is it like a correct word in English, but endorphin, maybe I said it wrongly, but that's like this happens, so that we start to feel good, better, more calm in the situation which is like threatening us. Anyway, so now when we are talking about predators, which are pack animals, they need to be able to fight and also fly, because there is a strong need to also a strong need to also be able to protect themselves, because the prey can be a threat. And one interesting thing what I have seen, those wolves, when they are attacking dogs, for example, when they understand the dog is same species, I've seen them flirting. So they are sending like flirt mode, like signals before attacking. And of course those videos are really sad to see, but it tells the story about being able to play the game during hunting. So they need to be quite aware, like, what is threat and what is not, and how to play the game. So now if we are taking this prey drive, literally like prey drive into our trainings, so that our theory says that no threat at all the dog can experience, not at all. It's not like that. Dogs can have like a very strong behavior, like this prey behavior, like hunting behavior, but still it can be under like a strong like a defense mode. So it's not like dog doesn't feel threat at all if you start from prey. So many people, for example, having these discussions with me about starting it, like only playing. But when we have like a 5-month-old Malinois and you're only playing, it's not like that you can just say that you're playing. Because if we are saying the word playing, that gives a theory that it's only playing, it's just fun. And when we have the theory, mostly we are unable to recognize what the dog really feels. What are those emotions inside this behavior? So aggression actually in nature is like I told now, it's connected with the prey, having a prey. They need it for that. And the other thing is what I already told us, this hierarchy. So it means that they need to check like who is the boss, kind of like who can get best males and best females. Hierarchy is everywhere. But the problem with problem in understanding hierarchy is that we often don't understand this, that hierarchy is not natural between species. Like they don't create like it's not jumping from species to another species. Otherwise wilds would be a pretty interesting place. Like there would be squirrels against rats and so on. They would be fighting about like having territories and so on. And of course it's not happening. Like a species can live very well together, but one species can't handle the other guy who is coming there, and then they will fight, because it's not happening like that. So for example, humans and dogs, we can't get like a natural like a relationship because we're not the same species. So we don't have like a natural hierarchy, but we can develop it so that it's unnatural, so it's working, yeah. But we need to understand how to build the relationship. And relationship means that the dog understands the handler emotionally, right? And that's where these emotions it's really important to develop like right emotion that the dog learn to understand. And hierarchy is like more like it comes from this, that we are understand the dog, we are like giving like right emotions, and also setting some rules which are creating the behavior that okay, this is not allowed and this is allowed and so on. So this kind of unnatural hierarchy can be like created, but it's unnatural. It doesn't come like natural like with dogs. So that is where you can see, for example, some dog can be really sensitive for humans and really social, but hates other dogs, because dog is the same species. That means that the reaction towards another dog is completely different than towards humans. So hierarchy point of view, aggression is not natural towards like from dogs towards people. It's not natural, it's unnatural. Only way to create aggression natural towards people, if we're talking about dogs, is the defense side, which is the third way to create aggression. Defense side need to defend themselves. It can be whatever or whoever the threat. So there is this like what I call this like a 4F rule, which I already said. But this is now very sensitive thing. It's a really subtle thing how to reinforce this defense side to be later to be aggression, because one theory explains that there is like a reactive aggression and active aggression. And active aggression is like dominant behavior where the dog doesn't feel threat anymore. But that's unnatural one. Like you need to train this active aggression. But I don't use this term too much. I'm talking about dog being defensive or offensive. Defensive or offensive. And when we can have like, for example, offensive behavior but defensive emotion, and that when dog feels themselves like really defensive, that can be really strong behavior, really strong, and they need to attack. But that is mostly because the threat in this situation is like that close, that the dog feels that the threat is dangerous already. So that is the reason why when I'm developing defense side, I use distances: suspicious, threat, dangerous, pain. And suspicious, this distance is something like a dog doesn't recognize whether the threat is human being, dog, whatever. The helper in this situation is that far that the dog is not recognizing it, what it is, who it is. And that gives like creates emotion, need to warn. Tail is up, hair is up, the dog is watching, mouth closes, a little bit growling, maybe a little bit barking, something like this, and I'm running away, and that's it. And mostly after that, this exercise is over, because the thing is this, that if I push this kind of stress button too often, too strongly, or too long, there is a strong, like a really big danger that this stress starts to be in life, so that when the dog should be calm and resting, those like a kind of cortisol level is high even when the dog should be resting, and that means that the dog is not feeling really like it's not feeling great anymore. Like daily life, normal life starts to be like the dog is under stress at where it is and so on. That's not good. Then this stress turns to be a negative one. So when I have been reinforcing this like long distance, like a threat, like this suspicious distance, and when the dog starts to be more ready, it starts to discuss before already, like where's the threat, come on. And when the dog is like challenging me to come closer, then I come closer so that I'm the distance, like I talk about threat distance. So now the dog recognizes who it is. But I can't harm the dog, so I can't be like I can't hurt. So in this situation now, if I reinforce the dog correctly, the dog is like able to challenge me again, and being that self-confident that can like a push mentally me away again, and I fly away. And same rule, not to do this too much. And then later, talking about more like months, I come closer and closer, or it depends on the dog. It can happen in weeks, for example. I come closer and closer, so that each and every time when I come from suspicious to threat to dangerous, like a distance, the dog is ready for challenging me. So basically the dog is giving me stronger emotion and stronger behavior than the threat is. So this is how to develop this defense side to be aggression. And the last distance is the pain distance, which is not, I'm not using this for in training at all, but it's like the dog needs to be able to answer even if they feel pain. For example, when we are talking about police dogs or military dogs in use of force situations, there can be situations that they feel the pain, but they still need to be functional, and they need to be ready for meeting this type of threat. So that's those. This is those distances. These are those distances. Sorry. And so to understand this process is really important to understand that aggression is not coming naturally from hierarchy point of view. It's not coming naturally from prey point of view. And then when and only natural way to do this is to develop like aggression, so that the dog is really functional and able to not only to bark, but to really feel confident that comes from this teaching the dog to fight the helper and then channel this energy to bite. But if we're doing it like from drive switching point of view, we never teach the dog to fight the helper. We're just adding like a drive. And what I've seen and my experience, and I've done this also a lot especially when I was working as a helper for sport dogs, but also I had another life, which was I was working as a helper for military and police dogs, so it was completely different ball game. And then I later started to understand to combine things, because I noticed that those military and police dogs, they had much more like a better channeling. They were biting better. Actually they were even attacking better. And now the sport dogs, when I was doing this drive switching, I noticed one thing, that I was switching drive from situation when the dog was in high drive. It was barking, everything looked like kind of good, but the dog was still defending themselves in this situation. It's more like defensive, not offensive. And then each and every time there were some issues. Either it was a grip issue, it was outing issue, it was handling issue. There were conflicts too much. When the dog was defensive, it was those types of dogs. It's like really difficult to control them. And then one thing what happened was is that those dogs which I trained through those drive switching and of course the idea was good, but one thing was happening each and every time. Dogs were noticing who was the trainer, who trained the dog. So it was more like a personal situation, personal relationship between the helper and the dog. When I started to train, and it made it a little bit more complicated for me to prepare those dogs to competition, because in competition there were no that much drive stimulation and so on. So that meant actually literally that when I was training like that, I was controlling the dog. And even nowadays when I watch IGP trainings or whatever trainings and also obedience trainings, it means that human is controlling the dog. And later I understood that actually it should go like this, that we are teaching the dog to control the human, even if it's about obedience, that it should go like this, that we teach the dog to kind of shake the handler. I want you to work, and now handler says, okay, let's work. So basically it goes like it should go, in my opinion, go like this. And when we are talking about aggression, like dominant behavior, it's the same, that we should teach the dog to activate the helper. So that means that helper is not giving a strong stimulation and a lot of stimulation, whether it's drive stimulation or pressure stimulation, whatever, so that helper is not controlling the dog in this process, but dog actually is the one which is controlling and learns to control. In my opinion, that is the only way to teach the dog not to recognize who is the helper, so that it doesn't matter whether the handler is strong or weak, fast, slow, big, small. It doesn't matter. Or what is a helper's energy level? Is he really does he have a lot of aggression inside, or is the helper more not having it, and so on. And many times, for example, you can see this in worlds, that helpers are pretty stable. They just concentrate on surviving the 140 dogs. So it's physically and mentally so strong situation for them to handle this world championship. So many times, for example, a normal village trials, you can see that helpers are giving more threat than in worlds. They need to survive maybe 5 or 6 dogs, so this can happen. So anyway, in my opinion, that has been at least in my case, the only way to do this was to understand what aggression actually means, and to teach the dog to control the helper, dominate the helper, and before I channel this to drive side. So of course there are theories and different understandings, and I can't say that it's wrong to do drive switching, and it depends on the dog. That sometimes even I do this drive switching because some dogs' nervous system can be so weak that, for example, they are unable to develop through this defense side only. Maybe they are too sharp dogs, too reactive dogs, so the reaction will be could be like too strong compared to abilities to develop and later on create aggression. So they would like stay too reactive. So in those cases, I add kind of drive stimulation just because of making this dog more functional. So it's not like I can't say that I have methods. I have principles that those are my. This is how I want to do things. But yeah. So shortly, aggression and prey drive, in my opinion, those are a bit like misunderstood in this our like sport or training like a society, so to speak. But it doesn't mean that we can't use this energy. It's like this is more like giving like a deeper understanding, but still, it's not about like what dog feels. It's like a high drive can be used, like, and we should like develop high drive, of course, because we're basically you can teach the dog to be confident, just simply teaching the dog to fight and enjoy, like a beating up the helper or beating yourself, like so that the dog feels that in this situation I can learn how to dominate. And then drive is one thing which is like creating self-confidence, and one thing which is creating self-confidence is lack of chaos. So more life is under order, that like creates self-confidence. So basically those three things. So whatever creates like self-confidence, that's good always. But the thing is this, that it's more like not about literally what dog feels. It's about what kind of stimulation you're giving. So when we are giving like a prey stimulation, it doesn't literally mean prey drive. And that is where the mistake can happen, that we think that prey drive and the dog is not feeling any threat there whatsoever. But it still can be that the dog is under threat, and you can see this, for example, that you're giving prey stimulation but ears are up and it's like it's pulsating or re-creeping or chewing and staying like reactive to defensive. And that means that then we are channeling reactive emotions straight to grip, which means that then the process is actually not developing self-confidence, but it's more supporting this reactivity what the dog is like showing there. So hopefully this video explained something, and whatever stimulation you're giving to the dog, even if you're starting from prey stimulation, try to focus on this, that you're reading what the dog feels. So there is nothing wrong in giving prey stimulation. In a way it can be more safe, because it's really difficult to teach dogs to learn aggression through defense side. And one mistake is this, that when we are teaching the dog to defend themselves, it's not being aggressive. So if you are really aggressive and giving like a really strong threat, and the dog feels like a huge need to protect themselves in this situation, then it's like that's bad. Like it's like the dog is just being very defensive, and nothing good happens in this situation. So I sincerely, of course, I suggest to think about it and study about it and learn about it, but it's not, when we are talking about defense side, training defense side, it's not being aggressive. The idea when we are teaching dogs like to learn how to create aggression is not to make them angry. So it's not to teach dog to feel this anger, but being aggressive. Aggressive means that they have got kind of guts to use aggression, to create aggression towards humans. And that's not like an easy task for them, because it's unnatural if it's not about defending themselves. So it's like as always, my when I talk, these are like just like I just talk without practicing. I don't cut anything and so on. And now I'm driving, and at the same time there was a situation in traffic that I needed to focus on a little bit. So hopefully still this was understandable for you guys, and you may disagree, of course. That is no problem. That's where the discussion comes in, that we can discuss about things when we disagree, but those like when I have been studied like psychological things and evolution, and in my I have also a lot of experiences of training like military and police dogs, not only dogs for sports. And then I've been through those the stress, like a lot of stress myself, working as a bouncer in restaurants, and I needed to I needed to fight a lot, so to speak. Like I was a lot of in situations that I felt this aggression, and it was really hard time in my life. And I noticed what it did to me, later how I learned to handle those situations and so on. For example, I have very good example of one situation that there was a really dangerous guy came there to the restaurant, and he was really big guy, and well, I needed to take him out from this restaurant because of behavior, and he started to fight, and it was really strong fight, and it was really close call, but I managed to win this fight, and I put him out, and then I felt like a winner. After 5 minutes he came back. I won the fight again. 5 minutes he came back. I again won. Altogether I won 8 times. He came back there 8 times. First time and second time when he came, I felt like, especially first time I won the fight, I felt like really proud of myself, a good boy. After second and later on, after 8th time, I didn't feel like a winner anymore, because I won like 8-0, but I felt that I lost it, and it was really strong emotion. I felt that I don't have guts anymore to do this job. I won 8-0, but I felt that I lost. So this is something that I see, that when people are training aggression, that the threat, reinforcing threat, reinforcing threat, reinforcing threat, reinforcing. And when it happens now, it means that you are pushing the stress point too often, too strongly, or too long. And it turns to be negative. It's not reinforcing anything anymore. So therefore, aggression is like a subtle thing that you need to understand how to develop it. If it's too difficult, then this drive switching is safe, but understand this, that it doesn't mean that the dog is confident. There can be like wrong emotions in this behavior. So prey drive and aggression. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and got some information, and at some point maybe I make some other videos. Cheers, bye.